Taylor Swift's 2025 continued to set unprecedented records as she achieved another milestone in her illustrious career, officially receiving her very first nomination for the Songwriters Hall of Fame. At 35, the acclaimed artist behind The Fate of Ophelia saw her name included on the Hall's 2026 ballot, a historic moment nearly 2 decades after she released her debut single. The announcement came on October 23rd, when the Songwriters Hall of Fame revealed its slate of nominees, with Swift featured among 13 other performing songwriters vying for a spot in the prestigious institution. The nomination arrived at the perfect moment in her career, as eligibility for the Hall requires that an artist's first commercial release be at least 20 years old. Swift's breakout track, Tim McGraw, hit the airwaves in June 2006, positioning her perfectly for consideration in the June 2026 induction cycle. The poetic nature of this timing wasn't lost on fans and industry observers alike, especially given Swift's reputation for weaving intricate stories and emotions into her lyrics. Her ever-evolving discography, which has touched on everything from heartbreak and resilience to folklore-inspired narratives, has established her as a songwriter who has profoundly marked the sound of her generation. This year's Songwriters Hall of Fame ballot placed Swift in the company of an eclectic array of music legends, further highlighting the significance of her nomination. Among the other performing songwriters nominated were LL Cool J, an icon of hip-hop, David Byrne, the creative force behind Talking Heads, Sarah McLachlan, known for her evocative ballads, Kenny Loggins, a maestro of both soft rock and soundtracks, and Pink, a powerhouse of modern pop. The list also included Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley of Kiss, recognized for their hard rock anthems, as well as Charlotte Caffey, Kathy Valentine, and Jane Wiedlin from the Go-Go's, a pioneering all-female band. In addition, Randy Bachman and Burton Cummings of the Guess Who, Jerry Beckley and Dewey Bunnell of America, and Richard Carpenter of the Carpenters rounded out a performer-songwriter category that spanned genres and generations, from pop and rock to R&B and disco, showing the diversity and influence of those being honored this year. Subscribe now to keep up with every one of Taylor's groundbreaking milestones. The Songwriters Hall of Fame, established in 1969, has long made it its mission to celebrate the artists and creators whose words and melodies have shaped generations. The recognition is not only reserved for performers, but also celebrates the behind-the-scenes writers whose contributions might otherwise go unnoticed, ensuring that the architects of the world's most enduring songs are given their due. In parallel with the 13 performing songwriter nominees, the Hall announced 14 non-performing nominees for 2026. Among this year's non-performing candidates were Pete Bellotte, whose collaborations with Donna Summer produced some of disco's most iconic hits, Andreas Carlson, who crafted chart toppers for acts like NSYNC and Katy Perry, Steve Kipner, the pen behind Christina Aguilera's Genie in a Bottle, and Patrick Leonard, whose extensive work with Madonna helped define an era of pop music. Voting for the 2026 class opened to eligible Songwriters Hall of Fame members, who have until December 4th to make their selections. Each voter can choose up to 3 candidates from both the performing and non-performing songwriter categories, with the final list of inductees set to be unveiled in early 2025. As the world anticipated the results, Swift's nomination stood out as a testament to her legacy as one of the most influential lyricists of her time. From her earliest days penning songs about teenage heartbreak to her more recent ventures into indie folk storytelling, Swift's lyrics have captured the evolution of pop culture itself. Over the years, she has amassed 14 Grammy Awards, inspired academic courses examining her work, and even shifted the music industry's conversation around artist rights with her celebrated re-recording projects. But the Songwriters Hall of Fame nomination carried a unique significance, shining a spotlight on the artistry and craft at the heart of her music. The journey to this point began in a small town in Pennsylvania, where Swift's love for music emerged at a young age. By the time she was a teenager, she had already begun writing songs that blended personal experiences with universal themes, a hallmark that would define her career. Her family relocated to Nashville to support her ambitions, and soon after, she signed her first record deal, releasing Tim McGraw in the summer of 2006. The single's success marked the beginning of a meteoric rise, with each subsequent album building on the last. Subscribe for more milestones in Taylor's legendary career. As the years passed, Swift's songwriting continued to evolve, with albums like Fearless, Speak Now, and Red showcasing her ability to craft deeply personal yet widely relatable stories. Her transition from country to pop with 1989 expanded her reach even further, introducing her to new audiences around the globe. Albums like Reputation, Lover, Folklore, Evermore, and Midnights demonstrated her versatility as she effortlessly moved between genres, collaborating with a range of producers and artists while always keeping her songwriting at the forefront. Throughout it all, Swift's lyrics remained central to her identity as an artist, earning her praise from fans and critics alike. The Songwriters Hall of Fame nomination arrived as a validation of her commitment to storytelling and her impact on the cultural landscape. The 2026 ballot placed her alongside artists whose work defined entire eras, highlighting the breadth of talent being celebrated. LL Cool J's pioneering contributions to hip-hop, David Byrne's experimental artistry with Talking Heads, Sarah McLachlan's emotional ballads, and Kenny Loggins' enduring hits all contributed to a nomination class that reflected the richness and diversity of modern music. The inclusion of Pink, Gene Simmons, Paul Stanley, and the Go-Go's underscored the importance of recognizing songwriters from every corner of the industry. Behind the scenes, non-performing songwriters like Pete Bellotte, Andreas Carlson, Steve Kipner, and Patrick Leonard represented the unsung heroes whose work has powered countless hits. Each nominee brought a unique perspective and body of work, making the 2026 class one of the most compelling in recent memory. The Hall's voting process, which allowed members to select up to 3 nominees in each category, ensured that the final list of inductees would reflect the collective judgment of those who understand the craft most intimately. As the deadline approached, anticipation mounted, with fans and industry insiders eager to see which artists would ultimately be honored. Swift's nomination, in particular, drew widespread attention as it marked a new chapter in her already storied career. From her earliest days as a teenage prodigy to her current status as a global superstar, Swift's journey had come full circle, with the Songwriters Hall of Fame recognizing the lasting influence of her words and melodies. The nomination was more than just a personal achievement. It was a celebration of the power of songwriting itself. Swift's catalog had become the soundtrack to countless lives, resonating with listeners across generations and backgrounds. Her ability to translate personal experiences into universal truths had set her apart, making her one of the most beloved and influential songwriters of her era. As fans awaited the results of the 2026 ballot, the significance of the moment was clear. Swift's legacy as a lyricist was now enshrined among the greatest in music history. Subscribe and stay tuned for every twist in Taylor's epic journey. As the Songwriters Hall of Fame prepared to welcome a new class of inductees, the spotlight remained firmly on Swift and her fellow nominees. Each artist brought their own unique voice, style, and perspective, reflecting the rich tapestry of modern music. The Hall's mission to honor those who have shaped the soundtrack of our lives was evident in the diversity of this year's ballot, with nominees spanning rock, pop, R&B, disco, and beyond. For Swift, the nomination was a fitting tribute to a career built on the power of storytelling and the magic of song. Her journey from a small-town songwriter to a global icon had inspired millions, proving that with talent, dedication, and authenticity, anything is possible. The Songwriters Hall of Fame recognition was the latest in a long line of achievements, but it held a special significance as a testament to the artistry at the heart of her music. As the world waited to see which nominees would ultimately be inducted, Swift's fans celebrated the moment, reflecting on the impact her lyrics had made on their lives. The nomination was a reminder that, at its core, music is about connection, the ability to capture emotions, tell stories, and bring people together. Swift's songs had done just that, weaving together the threads of her own experiences with those of her listeners, creating a tapestry of sound and meaning that would endure for generations to come. The 2026 ballot was a celebration of that enduring legacy, and as Swift's name appeared alongside some of the greatest songwriters of all time, it was clear that her place in the pantheon of music history was secure. With each new achievement, Swift continued to redefine what it meant to be an artist in the modern era, inspiring a new generation of songwriters to follow in her footsteps. The Songwriters Hall of Fame nomination was not just a recognition of past accomplishments, but a promise of even greater things to come. As the voting process unfolded and the world awaited the announcement of the 2026 inductees, the excitement continued to build, with fans and industry insiders alike celebrating the power of song and the artists who bring it to life. Subscribe for instant updates and exclusive stories about Taylor's next moves. The journey to the Songwriters Hall of Fame was a testament to Swift's unwavering commitment to her craft. From her earliest days writing songs in her bedroom to headlining stadiums around the world, she had never lost sight of the importance of storytelling and the power of music to change lives. Her lyrics, often drawn from her own experiences, had become anthems for millions, offering comfort, hope, and inspiration to listeners everywhere. The nomination was a recognition of that impact, a celebration of the artistry that had made Swift one of the most influential songwriters of her time. As the world eagerly awaited the results of the 2026 ballot, the significance of the moment was clear. Swift's legacy as a lyricist was now enshrined among the greatest in music history. The Songwriters Hall of Fame had long been a place where the architects of the world's most enduring songs were honored, and Swift's inclusion on the 2026 ballot was a testament to her enduring influence and the lasting power of her words. With each new achievement, she continued to inspire, challenge, and redefine what it meant to be an artist, leaving an indelible mark on the world of music and beyond. As fans celebrated this latest milestone, they looked forward to the next chapter in Swift's extraordinary journey, knowing that her best work was still yet to come. Stay subscribed to catch every moment of Taylor's legendary story.